A man is stuck in an endless subway where something constantly tries to scare him. He's riding the subway, scrolling through the news, but is distracted by a baby's crying. Another man scolds a woman for taking her baby on the subway. To block out the noise, he puts on his headphones. A call from a woman comes in, but he hangs up. However, when the call comes back, he finally picks up. She says she's in the hospital and has given birth. The man immediately freezes, causing other people to bump into him. That's not all, she's marrying her teacher. The man from the subway starts choking and uses an inhaler. The woman tries to say something, but the sound starts to falter, and then the connection is lost completely. This is how he ended up in Sector 8. The man walks forward and puts away his headphones as if nothing had happened. The subway seems completely normal until everything starts to repeat itself. He walks forward again and then backs up. Only now did he realize something was odd. Another man kept passing by him, ignoring him. The sign said, "Turn back," but he didn't see it and continued forward, transporting himself to the very beginning. This time, the man stopped abruptly and looked at the lost man with a smirk on his face. Frightened, he ran forward and the whole thing started all over again. He had no desire to meet this guy again, so he went back but ended up back at the very beginning. Now the man continued on. The lost man tried to open other doors, but they were all locked, and then blood began to flow from the ceiling. This time, the lost man ran back and the 0 was replaced by a 1, along with a message. Beware of anomalies. If anything goes wrong, turn around and leave. If there are no anomalies, continue on until you find exit number 8. This means he's fulfilled the conditions for advancement and reached level 1. Now the guy often peers at every sign on the level. The problem is he doesn't know what qualifies as an anomaly, and all attempts to talk to the man are futile. Seeing no problem, he moves forward and finds himself back at the very beginning. He gets the idea to photograph every sign and other objects. Now he has an impressive list to check. Just in case, he takes a picture of what was around the corner and sees a sign with a number 1. He can be sure the previous level is the standard. The problem is, as soon as he reaches the next level, the photos are ruined. But the man starts smiling. The guy runs away, moving to level 2. It all starts over again. Having checked every aspect, he was sure there were no anomalies here. And just a few steps before the passage further on, he hears a child's cry. Something smashes out of the locker. The guy runs headlong back, ending up on level 3. Everything was calmer here until the eyes started following him. As soon as he turned his head, they aligned. But then he noticed it. Absolutely every eye on the level was watching him. He calmly walked back, reaching the 4th level. By this time, he had developed a clear check structure to ensure nothing escaped his attention. There was no anomaly here. Level 5 began, where he received a call on his phone. He thought it was an anomaly, but he picked it up anyway and explained to the girl that he was going in circles and couldn't get out. She replied that he'd always had cartographic idiocy. The boy remembered the moment in the subway when the man yelled at the girl. Everyone was glued to their phones pretending not to hear anything, just like him. The boy promised to get out of here as quickly as possible and come to her. She promised to wait for him. He got so carried away that he didn't realize it was an anomaly, which is why he returned to the very beginning. He picks up his phone and tears appear on his face. Depressed, he enters the anomalous level. He immediately feels ill. After enduring the pain, he gets up and returns. The next level greets him with a boy. He immediately turns around, but instead of moving to the next level, he returns to the beginning. The man doesn't understand how this is possible, as he was definitely looking at an anomaly. Perhaps the boy wasn't part of the anomaly. This boy ran on and pointed at the man walking. It turns out he too was trying to escape the loop and was leading the boy with him. He managed to reach the 4th level. Here, a girl had replaced the man. The man examined her and said everything was fine. He checks every aspect and sees no anomaly. He even asks the boy if he saw anything strange. However, the boy says nothing. The man doesn't understand why he's silent, as if he's mute. But he made it to the 5th level, which he's incredibly happy about, where the girl called out to him asking if he was lost. She offered to take him to the exit if he was lost. And hadn't he ever wondered where they were?
What if they died and this was the equivalent of purgatory? He wondered if he'd committed any sins, but the girl was just joking. She clarified that she'd always met the same man, but now everything's different. What if it's an anomaly, and why would they go back? Why not stay here? Suddenly, her voice locks up and changes. Are you feeling unwell? I feel sorry for you. Commuting to work in a crowded train car every day, isn't that the truth? The man grabs the boy and runs back, ending up on level 6. The man was sure there was no anomaly here, but that was a mistake. He freaks out but collects his thoughts and takes the boy's hand. When suddenly a staircase appears ahead, he joyfully runs up, but the boy doesn't want to. The man pulls his hand away, hurting the boy. The man feels sorry, but the desire to get out of here is stronger, and he runs away. The boy returns and sees the same man. He tries to interact with him, but the man is different now and doesn't react to anything. From afar, a man screams from the subway. The boy ran toward the noise and encountered a man who thought he'd turned into an anomaly. Now he was moving along with him. The man was sure there was an anomaly here, but the boy continued on. He ran after him and saw level 1, which meant he was wrong. On the next level, the boy stood in front of a door. The man realized it was an anomaly, and he was right. The next level turned into a real nightmare. The light suddenly cut out. Some creatures started running around, and then he saw mutant mice. The man grabs the boy and goes back. On the next level, the girl from the man's phone appears. Moreover, the boy calls her mom and tries to run to her, but the man forbids him and goes back, reaching level 4. It turns out they were here too, but got separated. The boy got lost on purpose so his mother would find him. The man promises to help him find his mother. They both need to get out of here. The guy was much more attentive and once again hinted that there was an anomaly. The arrow points in the other direction. 3 levels remain. On the new level, the door, which was always closed, is now open. Behind it, there's pitch darkness. It reminds him of the subway car where he also stood opposite the door. The couple closes the door and returns. The guy hands over a shell as a gift. It will be his amulet. The man doesn't understand what he means but takes it anyway. Suddenly, a wave of Nesquik pours over them. The guy trips, causing the man to slow down and also get caught in the wave, transporting him to the seashore. There, the guy was running near the water and called the man Daddy. The girl says that one day the man will protect him, and then everything will change. The guy runs to the girl, calling her Mom, and gives her the shell. She thanks him for the gift and offers to make it an amulet. Then he hands the amulet to his father. They run to the water to play. The man lifts the boy to keep the water from splashing him. The same thing happens in the subway. He struggles to keep him near the ceiling, even managing to place him on a sign, but the pressure was too strong and he was swept away. After a while, when the wave subsided, the boy returned, reaching level 7. Not seeing the anomaly, he went forward and turned the corner. The man does the same, reaching level 8, which led him down. He looked at the gift and continued forward, returning to the people. The first thing he does is drink some water and tell the girl he's going to her, but just a minute later, the same thing happens again. But this time, he's not going to stand by and goes to help the girl. This is where the film ends, and we'd love to hear your like. We'll be back very soon. Bye.